The cops are good cops if they don't abuse people. Well, I don't know how you feel about this, but for me, man, that is setting the bar at the very, very lowest level. I mean, the bar is almost on the ground when you say that. Well, you know, he doesn't physically abuse people, so he's a good cop. Wow, really? That's like saying you're a good husband because you don't beat your wife. Well, there's a lot more to being a good husband, really refraining from beating your wife. But yet people use this ridiculous argument. Perhaps we should expect more from our officers? And here's the problem I see with the ill-considered definition of, well, you know, he doesn't abuse people, so he's a good cop. Many of these people that I hear, the citizens saying, you know, oh, well, I'm sure that Randy's a good cop. The problem with that is that good cop may very well be standing right next to what you would consider bad cops while they do bad things, and he doesn't stop them. These cops may be committing criminal acts, and he doesn't stop them. Now, I'm not talking about they're walking into a liquor store and pulling their gun out and robbing a liquor store, but we'll use an example that we see time and time again on these videos. People being beaten for absolutely no justifiable reason. People being pushed to the ground, handcuffed, and having their cell phones taken when virtually every cop in America knows you can't do that. But what these cops know is nobody's going to stop me. Now, if I see it, I'm going to stop them, and I'm probably going to pay a price for that, but I'm going to do it anyway because I won't tolerate it. It's my country, not theirs. However, I shouldn't have to. You know who should be stopping those officers? His fellow officer. When somebody gets in when a cop gets in a citizen's face and says, you just committed a felony for filming you. You give me that phone right now. And the person says, I'm not going to give you my phone. He says, then I'm going to arrest you. Get on your knees, get on your knees. And he starts to get out his gun. His partner or other officers at the scene should immediately come over and say, stop. Get right in front of his face. Stop. I'm going to have to arrest you if you continue. You are committing a criminal act. You are outside the law. There is no law supporting your activities. You are committing what the law calls terrorist threats. If it was legal, it would be a proper legal process. But because it's not a felony, he has no right to take the person to jail. It's not a misdemeanor, I should be clear about that either. He has no right to take them to jail, to detain them, to touch them, or even speak to them. Because he has the right to do none of that, when he does, he's a criminal. And his partner or his fellow officers nearby should get in his face and tell him, if they're good cops, should tell him, stop. We are not having a discussion. You are done, or I am handcuffing you and taking you to jail. What you would see if these good cops actually did that is the bad cops would be like, what? And they would stop what they were doing. I think one of the saddest examples of people calling cops good cops when they're not is when you have 4 or 5 or 6 cops viciously, severely, and illegally just beating some poor citizen, in some cases to death. And you see on the fringes of the videos other cops standing there next to their cars. They're not participating in the beating, but they're not stopping it. That they are charged with enforcing the laws of their state, and they're witnessing a felony in progress, and they sit on their hands. I will consider these guys good cops when one of them comes out of the holster with his gun and says, stop or I'll shoot. You would see those cops stop in a heartbeat, and they would stop. Not only would they stop immediately, but they would stop the entire assault, because somebody with morals and courage and testicular fortitude actually stood up and showed that he had a pair instead of standing there like a coward that you